Under normal circumstances, New Year is an occasion where people enjoy, people look forward to the coming days of the year, wishing for good luck and success and healthy and happy life. But unfortunately, this is not a time for the Tibetans to celebrate New Year. On the other hand, as you all know, the critical situation in Tibet has been going on for the last 50, 60 years, and particularly since 2008, I could for sure say that in the last 4 years, most of the Tibetans have not celebrated Tibetan New Year, and this is the 4th year in running. Particularly this year, as of today, 21 Tibetan nuns, monks, and ordinary people have self-immolated themselves to draw attention to the plight of the Tibetans, to the anguish of the Tibetans, to the aspirations of the Tibetan people, and out of which 13 people have already succumbed to their injuries. Last month, on January 22nd, when the whole of China was celebrating Chinese New Year, that was also an occasion for some parts of Tibet, particularly in Kham and Amdo, to celebrate Tibetan New Year. And at that time, Tibetans peacefully demonstrated, and Chinese police indiscriminately fired on the Tibetans in Trango, in Serta, and in Zamthang. And so far, 7 people have died because of the police firings. And because of the ongoing critical situation inside Tibet, the Kashak and the Tibetan Parliament-in-Exile had jointly decided that this year Tibetans will not celebrate Tibetan New Year, but at the same time, to maintain our own cultural tradition, Tibetans can decorate their altars and do the normal ritual things, and the rest of the time should be dedicated towards religious and spiritual activities. Particularly the Tibetan Parliament-in-Exile, in consultation with the cabinet, has decided that on the first day of Tibetan New Year, Tibetan members of parliament in and around Dharamsala will sit for a solidarity hunger strike at the Thakjing Chuling monastery. And we have appealed to all other Tibetans in exile to observe the first day of Tibetan New Year as a solidarity day for the Tibetans, and I'm sure there will be many more Tibetan non-governmental organizations who will be involved in organizing more initiatives during the New Year. We hope that even though it is not a time for celebration, we should dedicate and pray for peacefully settling the critical situation, the heightened tension that is prevailing inside Tibet. And I urge all the Tibetans to pray and also work towards finding, work towards the cause of Tibet in the year to come. And of course, it would be wishful thinking to say that the Tibetan issue will be resolved in 2012. But we can say for sure that seeds of the consequences that could be seen in the near future has been sown. And as long as the Chinese military presence inside Tibet continues in the manner that is prevailing now, the situation inside Tibet is definitely going to escalate. And we hope and pray that the better sense prevail over the Chinese leadership and work towards creating a conducive atmosphere to achieve what the Chinese leader have been saying, to create harmonious society within the nation and also with neighboring countries and with countries all around the world. But it's not enough to believe in certain principles, but it should be implemented in the spirit that has been set by the Chinese leadership. And we do hope that Chinese leadership will work towards de-escalating the situation inside Tibet and fulfill the aspiration of the Tibetan people, by which there could be a lasting, long-lasting solution for the issue of Tibet. And finally, I want to wish each and every Tibetan inside Tibet and outside Tibet for their well-being, for their success, and a renewed commitment to work for the Tibetan cause. Thank you so much. I wish you the best.